Now this photo is courtesy of Steve Thompson. Many thanks for letting me use this one. It's a picture of the of Buttermere in the Lake District. So we've got some nice hills, a few distant houses there, plenty of trees, nice frame trees here on the right hand side. We've got this nice stone wall which we'll make a feature of. So let's have a look at the materials. It's the usual palette. We've got ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber, light red. Got the large one Ransonade, number 3 rigger, 3/4 inch flat. Got a water jar here, 15 by 11 Fabriano watercolour paper, and my tea towel on the top there drying. So one quick look at the photo, and then let's give it a bash. So I'm going to start off as usual. Get a nice soft background to stop the paper going all crinkly. I'll wet it all over evenly, that way it'll stretch evenly then. And then once that's in, just go straight into raw sienna, or whatever tech you fancy really. Whack that on randomly, no real order to it. Clean the brush, take the excess off on the tea towel, straight into the ultramarine, maybe a bit of Payne's grey as well if you feel inclined to do so, and then just brush it in. Get a bit of that, just taking it all the way down. Just helps with the keep it all harmonious. And try and keep the palette as limited as I can. I do that generally. It really does help keep your colours harmonious. Like I say, the fewer you use, the easier it is to mix for it to look right. And then for the distant hills, we use the same colours as the sky. Just dipping the tips in just to bring the ears back together. And then I'm going to go start somewhere like that, and then just try and get the, it doesn't have to be absolutely bang on, but as long as it's there or thereabouts, some of you can actually recognise what it is you're painting. Like I say, this is Buttermere. I went to the lakes myself earlier in the year, but we were based around the Ullswater region, so I never got to see Buttermere. But I'd like to get up there one day. Now, there's a few little houses and stuff there, so I'm just going to leave a few gaps in the paper, and then I'll come back to that later. Come back to that. I'm just looking, can I do anything more in the sky? I think I'll leave it at that for now. There are a few bit trees. There's a few little, it's just using the corner, lemon yellow, Payne's grey. I'm just dotting those in. Right. The paper's stretched, so I'm just going to stretch it slightly, pull it tight, and then refix it on this side. And I'm going to get me give that a quick dry. No, it doesn't have to be bone dry. The reason I wanted it drier was so that when I put the next layer on, it'll really stand out. Like, well, I'll show you. If I just go lemon yellow, Payne's grey, really dark green, really dark, and then when I pop that on, you can see how that now really sort of stands out now. If that was wet, it'd sort of blend in too much. If it's part of your background, you want it wet because it blends in then, like I say, but when you're coming forward, like these, lots of big trees over there, you see now these are really sort of standing out. See how much closer these look than that, because the tones are stronger. And the easy way to do that is by drying it first before you put it in. So I'm just bringing this down a bit, but first I'm just going to put a bit of, just a quick sweep across there, just to give it something. And there's the trees. I'll suggest a few little, but see what I've done there? I've done them all the same height, just makes it look a bit samey, so just try and vary it where I can. Keep it interesting. And for a big trunks, if you've done them too sort of conspicuous, just paint over them. So look, there's a little one there. Again, very easy to overdo it. That'll do. Leave that like that now. Let's just change the colour a bit. It's all going a bit too green. So let's go a bit of raw sienna, maybe stick a bit of light red. I said I was going to use a limited palette, but I've gone a bit crazy now with the colour. Yeah, now it's getting a bit brighter now. If it goes too red, you can always tone it down with a bit of blue or something. Darken it up with some blue, just to get a bit of variation in it. It's just a bit too wet to be standing out. But clean the brush. Clean the brush. Let's stick some. Let's use the rigger. Switch to the rigger. Get it dark. Burnt umber. Ultramarine. Nice dark mix. Plenty of water. And then we've got just got a few little some little trees down there. Let's just flick them up. I'll do for that. Instead of using the ink, I'll switch to the another use for the flat, or any brush really. Just damp it, scuff it up. You could use the rigger, you could often use the hake to do this, but scuff it up so it's nice and random, and then go into your tree colours, nice and sort of greeny. So it's good lemon yellow, bit of burnt ultramarine, Payne's grey, and then just sort of dab, and just an easy way of making loads of leaves. You don't want to paint every single leaf on individually. And again, just vary the height. And so just a very simple way of doing a little tree. Stick a bit of grass and some. I want it nice and dry. Lemon yellow, Payne's grey, bit of ultramarine. Let's just stick some bits down there. It needs to be quite dry, the brush, to do this. Otherwise, just sort of dry brush effects. Maybe a bit of back into that light red. Be careful because that red is very, very strong. Just trying to get a bit of variation in this foreground there. Right, now I'm coming down just before the wall now. Yeah. Just varying the colours I come down. I'm just looking to see where that wall is. So what I'm going to do, where the wall is, I'm going to go burnt umber, ultramarine, nice and dark as you like, and you're sort of looking for a bluey get the brown and then just look at it and it starts to go sort of blue. That's the sort of colour you're after. And then just work out where your wall's going. Sort of diagonally, sloping upwards slightly. Don't just do it perfectly parallel with the paper. It'll look a bit naff. So the wall's going to go something like that. Something like that. And then I'll use a piece of card. I can't find my card, so I'm going to use a knife. And what we're doing is just, I'm not going to do all of them, I'm just going to suggest a few bits of stone here and there. So you don't have to do it all the way along. If it's too wet, you might have to wait for it to dry a little bit. Just suggesting a few stones here and there will give the impression of that wall, stone wall. I think that'll do for that. There's a few little fence post things in front of it. I'm just going to switch to the flat. Sort of something down there, and then there's another one about there. And somewhere else out there. Back to the ache. And we're going back to our tree colours. Lemon yellow, Payne's grey, ultramarine. Again, not too much water, it's just a bit too wet. Let's do these ones a bit bigger. And these are coming right down into the foreground. Onto the foreground, over our wall. And it's sort of, let's try and get a bit of variation down the bottom here. Start off with some raw sienna. Don't want it fairly dry, the brush, fairly dry, and just keep varying it. Just keep whizzing around your palette. Just variations on that green grass. Maybe even a bit of light red down there, just to change it. Thin brush, back to a light colour, say raw sienna, just fill in some of these white bits. Just have a quick dry. Get a little trunk or something in there. Oh, hang on. I've dried that so much now I can't get a... Let's see how we can change it. So what you want is a pretty dry brush, and all you're going to do is sort of loosen the paint. So let's just go back into that tree mix. Something like that, and then we can, once the paint's been wet, we can now go back in with the nail. create something. What you don't like, just paint straight back over it. I'm just trying to create the impression of something now. I don't want to overdo it. That'll do. Give it a quick dry. Dry brush into some dark thing, whatever you want to use. And let's just stick a few. Just very light touch, just bits of grass these are, just growing through. Just a quick flick down to create that little, just little tufts. That'll do it. Very easy to overdo it. We had those little buildings. I could probably do with a smaller brush than this, but I'm going to use it anyway. Now, the roofs are sort of. In fact, use some of the sky colour, sort of ultramarine, Payne's grey. And then sort of scattered about. It's just. I could really do with a smaller brush, I think. You know what? Just 1 second. I just took this little brush out, just like a little flat brush. Just means I can do the just get those distant buildings in. So I'm just looking for that sort of sky colour that I did earlier. And then all I'm doing, going into the white bits I've left, I'm just putting in some little roofs. Put some little. They're not the best houses in the world, but it's just something. Just some bits of grass or something, just to break it up. Something like that. Just gives the impression of a few houses on the horizon. I don't want any real detail, which is quite handy really, because there isn't much detail there, to be honest. But you don't need any detail. Like I say, just the roof. Just a roof will suggest buildings, and it just gives you a little focal point in the distance. So switching back to where we were, back to the rigger. I mean, I'm just going to stick a couple of little birds somewhere. Just stick them by those trees somewhere. And then last but not least, just find a quiet corner Remember, don't sign it right in the corner because once it's framed and mounted you won't be able to see it. Pop your signature. And I'll call that one finished. So let's have a closer look at it. This is our finished painting, so let's have a look at the photograph again. You can see compositional wise I've kept it pretty much the same. Just tried to create this sort of more dramatic sky with the cloud there over the distant hills. Tried to leave some white bits there just so I could go back later and stick a few roofs in to make it look like a little village or something in the distance. And you can see as we come forward the tones get stronger, pushing the far stuff right back. Remember how simply these trees are made. Just use the rigger, put your branches in your trunk, and then use any brush really, as long as it's dry, with some hairs all over the place, and then just put the leaves in nice and random. Our stone wall, just get the colour in nice and dark, and then just wait until it's about half dry and then just scrape out a few rocks just to give the impression of a nice stone wall. And then always, where you got sort of big blocks of land, just keep varying the colour, just keeps it interesting. Even a flat piece of land like that you can keep interesting by just varying the colour. Let it dry and then just go in and just put in some little tufts of grass here and there, again with a dry brush. Some little birds flying over the amongst the trees always helps bring a bit of life to the thing. Well, I hope you like that. Thanks for watching, and keep practicing. Any questions please ask. I'll see you again soon.